Getting sober didn't just save my life. It completely rebuilt who I am. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 biggest changes that I've made since I've gotten to sobriety. Let's get into it. If you're in active addiction, early sobriety, or just trying to turn your life around, I hope that this video can give you hope, or at the very least, give you some inspiration to make the move to change your life for the better. What's up, ladies and gents? I'm Austin Baylor Perry, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm just somebody with a decent amount of unconventional life experience that's battled opioid addiction for the last 13 years and finally made the decision to turn my life around, hit that hard reset button, and get back into sobriety. When I was in active addiction, I hit rock bottom, and then I found out that that rock bottom had a basement. And I can't even tell you how difficult it was to make it back to sobriety, but by the grace of God, I'm still here. I'm still kicking, and I'm still making moves to make my life a way better existence for myself. And thank you guys, each and every one of you that have subscribed and are along for the journey. I really appreciate it. It wasn't until I acted on divine inspiration that I finally got my life back on track and started to foster that relationship with God, or for some, a higher power of my understanding, that everything began to change for me. If you're in active addiction, I want to say this to you. There's still hope. Take that step, act on divine inspiration, and change your life for the better. You'll thank yourself later. And if you're in early sobriety, woo woo, good job. You're killing it. Excellent work. Keep up the good work. Keep moving your life forward, and let's rebuild our lives together. Comment below and let me know what day you're on. I'm curious. These are the 5 biggest changes that I've made in my life in the last 12 months up to present with 118 days sober. Number 1, from chaos to control.
You know it.
A year ago, my life was total chaos and I wasn't in control of quite literally anything. And I almost thrived on that chaos. It was scary at times. Actually, it was scary a lot of the time, being out there on the street all by myself, no friends. My family had to love me from afar, and I was coming face to face with the fact that that was my reality if I didn't make a change. The biggest understanding that I had to come to terms with was that active addiction was in control and I was no longer calling the shots. And that's actually the way it was for a number of years. And I'm talking 13, but as an addict, it takes a lot of time to come to terms with that and come face to face with the reality of the situation. There was no structure, there was no peace, there was no purpose, and there was no direction. And the craziest part is I was totally oblivious to how out of touch with the reality I was and how far away from my authentic self that the methamphetamine psychosis I was in had taken me. And I know that it absolutely hurt the hearts of all my family to watch happen. And to my family, I love you guys. Thank you for still being there for me and being by my side as I've made it back into recovery. But today, as far as that methamphetamine psychosis goes, things are way different. Things even started to change when I first turned myself in for a warrant that I had hanging over my head back in November, the day after my birthday. And that was the first real decision that I started to make from the position of being a man and not just living like a boy. And yeah, it was scary, and yeah, it sucked, but it was the beginning of something powerful. It was the beginning of taking ownership of my life. Today, I woke up with purpose. I just got done hitting 50 push-ups, taking a shower, getting my cup of coffee, making my bed, and getting my life started on the right foot. It's only 6 a.m. and the ball's already rolling. I would have never in a million years done that in active addiction unless I was up for the full 24 hours before. Yeah, it was like that. Today, however, I choose to maximize my time. I choose to optimize my time. I choose what direction I'm going to take my life, and I can make it and operate from a place of purpose and being driven to do the next right thing always. And with a focus on doing the next right thing, I know that the next step that I take forward is going to be that of a man that loves his son and that is doing what he needs to do to better himself and be the man that his son deserves, his family deserves, and above all, that I deserve. And that shift from chaos to control is where I begin to manifest a positive, productive, and purpose-driven life. And I'm so proud of that. Number 2, from numbness to spiritual awakening.
Oh God.
For a long time, I didn't feel anything. Not happiness, not joy. I was just a drone on a mission to serve my active addiction each and every day. I was quite literally completely empty. And for the longest time, I didn't even realize that until I did. Active addiction takes away your ability to feel. And for the longest time, I didn't even believe that. But now I understand what all the hype is about. Getting to actually live a life and be purpose driven and live intentionally and purposefully is a feeling unlike any other. And when you get into flow state, it's incredible. But quite honestly, I used to think that addiction taking away your ability to live was total BS. And that's pretty scary. However, prior to my newfound zest for life, I was sitting in jail and I was asking God for a sign, and I didn't realize it at the time, but that was God giving me a sign. That was God taking that first step to hitting the hard reset button. And even though I went right back to drugs afterwards, that was actually what set the ball in motion for me to realize, oh, this is not the life that I want to live. And I need to hit the brakes and pump them real fast, quick, and in a hurry, or else this is going to be the same cycle that I repeat over and over again. And that's not what I wanted for my life. And that was when I made the decision to check myself into detox, followed by a 28-day program, and then followed by the 6-month program that I'm currently sitting recording this video in. And check this out. I'm not here to preach, but having a higher power, having something that's bigger than yourself in your life, it changes everything. Because now when things get hard, I don't just rely on my own strength. I have a spiritual foundation to fall back on, and it keeps me strong today. And above all else, it keeps me grounded today. Number 3, from isolation to responsibility.
Finally, big dog.
Addiction isolates you. It pulls you away from family, friends, and people that love and care about you. And for me, one of the hardest parts was it pulled me away from my relationship with my 5-year-old son, and that absolutely broke my heart. There was a time when I believed that my son was better off without me. I genuinely did. But there's no way in a million years I could ever believe a lie of that magnitude ever again. My son and I are rebuilding an incredible relationship, and I'm so grateful for it. I love that little man with all my heart. But back to when I believed the lie. When I believed that lie, I punished myself so much by perpetuating my addiction, by living homeless day after day, even when I knew better. Even when my family told me that I deserved a better life, I still continued to live that way and continued to punish myself. But today, he is my why. Outside of me living in my purpose and becoming a better man that I deserve, I'm becoming a better man that he deserves in the capacity that I'm capable of at the moment, being here in treatment. Everything I do is with him in mind. Today, and our future together. It's not just about being sober anymore. It's about becoming a present and reliable man, a predictable and reliable father, and somebody that he can look up to. And that responsibility gives my life meaning, gives my life purpose, gives my life a feeling that drugs never could. Believe that. Number 4, from destruction to creation. This one is huge.
LOL.
A year ago, everything I did was destructive, whether I was acutely aware of it or not. I was destroying my health, my future, and my relationships. All my energy was being used to tear my life down, and all for a drug that I believed I couldn't live without. But now, I'm creating content, I'm rebuilding a future, and I'm living in my purpose. I'm putting my energy into things that actually matter. For instance, this YouTube channel, sharing my story and trying to help even one person to just better their lives, that's huge for me. And it's something that I quite literally feel in my heart. It makes my heart smile. And that right there That's powerful. We all deserve a fulfilling life. Number 5, from hopelessness to momentum.
It's game time!
At my lowest point, I didn't see a future. I hated myself, and I quite literally, as I said before, didn't believe that I deserved to be a father, that my son deserved to have a junkie like myself as a father. He deserved better. And that just perpetuated being trapped, being hopeless, and being stuck. But today I'm building momentum, serious momentum. I have quite literally never been more serious in my entire life about manifesting a prosperous and abundant life. I'm 118 days sober. And other than one period of time back in 2018, 2019, that's the most amount of clean time I've had in the last 13 years. That's huge for me. And I'm hella proud of it. Woo! Here's the thing about momentum. One good decision leads to another. It compounds and it begins to add up. And when you start stacking wins, that's where the shifts and the change takes place. It's like when you begin to exercise and then all of a sudden you're just extra mindful of everything that you're eating now because you want to see results. The same thing takes place when you start to make a decision to better your life. Then you want to make all sorts of other decisions that better your life because you want to see results. It's a ripple effect. I always place my focus on doing the next right thing, and already I can look back just 118 days sober, and I'm able to say I'm not even the same person anymore. I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet, not even close. I have huge goals and aspirations, but 118 days sober, that's a pretty damn good start. And if you take anything away from this video, let it be this. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just got to take one step in the right direction. And if you're in the thick of it right now, I promise you, change is possible. So check this. If you could like, comment below, and subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me on my journey. And if you made it to this point in the video, I love you. Know that.